All right, so one thing to talk about real quick that I believe we talked about last week, but one of your assignments that does have a due date of today, one-step inequality. Actually, everybody go ahead and open another tab with Khan Academy. Or if you already have another tab open with Khan Academy, go ahead and jump over to that. But I'm watching on Dino to see that most of us get into Khan. I want to make sure that we look at the fact that there are 2 places to look for your assignments. This is what everybody should be seeing for our current assignments. These 2 that are due dated today, but that does not mean I'm going to put them in math today, but it does mean that's what you need to be trying to get done for today. And if you do not get it done by its due date, it will go here. Everybody look right up here. Yeah, I know, my little screenshot didn't get it. What's that say right up there? Passed. And if you are not looking at your Khan Academy assignments page, if you do not know how to find it, you probably need to call one of us over to help you, where am I looking? If it says you have no goals, that's the mastery goal page. And I'll probably set some mastery goals if you get closer to here, just do as much work as you want to try to win the movie day. And actually, guys, it's going to take 3 days of class to do a movie. So we're not just talking about 1 day. We're talking about 3 days worth of class where you could win yourselves a movie. So once we get back into doing Desmos and doing what we're supposed to do, I'm going to come around with Candy because as of Friday, you were winning. As of right now, you're losing. Because 1A, so by the way, before we move on from this, always check your past, especially if you check Khan or if you check MAP, and MAP has an assignment from Khan, it's going to be in your past due list. If there's Khan assignments in MAP, they are past due. On the one-step inequality assignment, I believe we talked about this last week. Tell me if I'm crazy and we didn't, but there's a giant trap door. I should have every set of eyes up here. I again didn't have the whole thing snapshot, but this problem is negative 14x greater than negative 3. When we go to solve it, you probably think, oh, there's multiplication. So how do we undo multiplication? We divide. So you're like, yeah, okay. We divide. Great. I divide by negative 14 like we've always done. But there is a trap door. What's the trap door? Who's able to read what's in a highlighter there? Parker?
I'm thinking the negative, it's divided 13 negative 3 by 14 too.
I don't even know what color to draw in. Guys, this negative, when we go to divide, when you divide by a negative, and it's right over there, right above Caleb, see the pink poster that says multiply or divide by a negative? Flip the sign. I wish it said symbol, but I don't want to rewrite that poster, and symbol maybe didn't fit on the one page. This inequality symbol, guys, this gets broken and flipped around when you multiply or divide by a negative. We could take a whole class period talking about why, and we might after the test, but all I really need you to know is that it happens. So watch out. There should be alarms in your head when you see the negative and you start trying to divide. That's going to flip around the inequality symbol. Because if you got this problem wrong and you click show answer, it tells you exactly what you did wrong. So the next time you go to do it, you get it right. But if you don't read this, and if you just get mad and you're like, there's something wrong with the computer. Guys, there's not. Khan Academy has been it's been around for years. It's been checked. We figured out all the bugs. Khan Academy is pretty 100% correct. I'm not guaranteeing there's never an issue in Khan Academy, but their 7th grade math stuff has been around for at least a decade. We have had time to check it. Their system is correct. So watch out for those trapdoors. And then, as I always say, fractions are better. If you get an ugly decimal, Just leave your answer as a fraction. Stella and Claire, are you going to be able to sit together? Because I'm talking and you're ignoring me. You have one more chance of me, like, if I talk to you again, one of you's moving. Are we clear? I do not have the patience for it. Guys, I don't know how your class necessarily won because there are multiple people sitting in this room who didn't even work for 10 minutes last week. Your Khan Academy log, when I checked it yesterday, and I didn't get grades until this morning, but when I looked at Khan Academy, your cumulative time for all week was less than 10 minutes. How is that not embarrassing for you? I don't understand how you can be like proud of that. And maybe you just don't care about being proud of what you do, but I would encourage you to step up and, do something you're proud of. Also, because you have to, it's assigned to you. So go ahead and work into that Desmos. We're not working on Khan right now. We're working on that Desmos of Crab Island. And then we'll spend the final part of class working on Khan. What that really means is those of you with less than 10 minutes of work last week owe a giant thank you to the people in this room who had over 100 minutes. Yeah. A couple people in this room had over 100 minutes. A couple people in this room leveled up like 7 or 8 times. So some of us don't really deserve this candy, but we rode on the coattails of our classmates who carried this group. Don't count on them to carry it again because they can't keep carrying the group. They've already leveled up a lot. They can't level up as much as you could still level up. So if you guys want to keep winning and trying to earn that party, everybody needs to step up and do their work. It is braces friendly. It's the hard stuff. It is braces friendly. Yeah, Crab Island. They just keep singing crab songs all day long.
So they sing this and Crab Life, I guess. Mermaid songs all day long.
I got back row people, right? Alright, I'm gonna do you two real quick and we'll go in the second row. We gotta eat through this before I restock it. This candy cannot exist into the summer. This needs eaten through. Hey, you get to decide how many crabs you want to sample.
To eat
Defective.
something.
Well, there's a tiny little stick on it. You just want to. It's like somebody just broke the stick.
No, they need it.
Mystery.
Evelyn got one like this.
Hey, you already unwrapped.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I think someone just going around the sticks.
Alright, everyone get one if you wanted one.
Evelyn got one that was like a little stick too.
I think there's less like sticking out to be in the way.
Somebody's just eating the sticks. I hope no.
I wonder what this did on the
Paper. It's edible. Doesn't mean it's good for you, but it's edible.
Paper like sticks.
I don't know why I
That's how we use it, like when I'm done.
I like love plastic.
It literally sheds.
No.
So there is not one right answer, right? There's not, on these like which one doesn't belong questions, there's not a right answer. And I know I don't have you paused. If you're still working, that's fine. But I just like seeing what you guys say. Of like all numbers added are in order because it looks weird. This denominator's 5. Don't like the denominator. Not a denominator of 3. A lot of you got stuck on like 3 of them had the denominator of 3. And only one of them had denominator of 5. Actually, a lot of you. A, B, and C are all 7. A couple of you did the math. And if you did the math, D came out to be a different answer. Is ugly, in my opinion. totally fine opinion, double-digit number. So interesting reasons why you might have said what one doesn't belong. And then here's some questions we might ask about the island, right? Size of each crab, how many crabs are big compared to the total amount of crabs, how many crabs are in the water, what is the average size of the crabs? Anyone ever watch, the show where they're Deadliest Catch? Anyone ever watch Deadliest Catch where they're crab fishing? So there's a thing on Deadliest Catch where they have to, on every single crab, you know what they're doing?
They have to check their size.
And why?
Because it's illegal to catch crab under the...
It is illegal to keep a crab that is too small. So if we're doing research about this island, deciding should we go fish for crab there, we want to know what's the average size of crab. Is it big enough to make it worth our time that I'll be able to keep it? Because if the crab's too small, gotta toss it back. And that was a waste of time. You caught it and you put it right back. It went on a cool adventure to go tell its friends about. All right, keep going. Keep going. I've got gadgets and gizmos aplenty. I've got who's its and what's its galore. I've got 20. Little Mermaid is a classic movie, Claire.
I never watched it.
Jeez.
Never watched
Nah,
it.
my mom is a huge fan of it. She literally has a
I wanna be where the people are. I wanna see. Oh, I got that one wrong. Walking around on those, what do you call it? Legs. Oh, feet. Dang it, Hudson. It's been a while. Okay, it's been a while since I've seen Little Mermaid. All right, let's keep talking math so you guys don't have to keep dealing with me singing. So if I collect a bunch of crabs... Oh, you knew it was coming eventually. Look at your worksheet. Let's talk about the actual math we need to learn today. So I want you to put yourself in Alicia's shoes. Let's say your parents are trying... So if you want to, you can cross out Alicia's name and put your name. Your parents are trying to set a limit on your cell phone. But dude, chill. You have a mathematical way to defend yourself. You're like, Mom, Dad, look, I'm not even on my phone any longer than other 7th graders are. And they're like, prove it. You're like, bet, I can do math. So, you decide you want to know how many minutes 7th graders at your school spend on your phone each day. Mathematically, when we are talking about a population, and here's where you should be like underlining, color coding, whatever you decide out here, if you would please, and if you choose not to, obviously you're in charge of your life, but I would prefer for you to, be here to learn. When we are talking about a population, somebody said the population of Phoenix students, or the population of Worthington students, or what does the word population mean? Liam?
Like 100% of?
It's everybody. It's all of the group, right? It's everyone described in that group. Everyone in the whatever we're talking about. So whatever group we've decided we're talking about. So here, what's the group that Alicia has decided she's wanting to talk about? 7th graders, right? Now wait, all 7th graders in the world? 7th graders at her school. So Alicia's population, 7th grade at school. Like at her school, right? Now, if Alicia goes to a school the size of Perry, the size of McCord, do you think she wants to talk to every single 7th grader? No. Highly doubt it. There's hundreds, right? We're lucky that we're in a smaller community here, but there's hundreds at most normal middle schools. So what might Alicia do like, let's say Alicia's in this class, right? You are Alicia. We are all Alicia. So what could we do instead of talking to every single 7th grader? Parker? Like, give me an example.
50, 40, 30, 20.
Do we, or could I just hey, friends in this room, how long do you talk on your phone? How long do you talk on your phone? That is called a sample. So what Alicia could decide to do is she's going to take a sample, and over here we're going to write sample. Kind of like what you get if you walk around the grocery store on the right day. Is a sample the entire pizza? No, it's a little portion of the pizza. So it's a portion, or another word we could say that is a subset of the population. So if her population is the whole 7th grade, a nice, fairly, accessible subset that we could use, literally, if Alicia's in this class, if she asks this class, is that part of the population of 7th graders? Yeah. So Alicia's sample could just be her math class. Now, if there are 500 students in our school, and there are 20 people in our math class, would you stop at just asking one class? No, you might ask, your math class and the choir class, or, you might get a couple more classes. But, guys, if we were doing a survey for Phoenix's 7th grade, and you asked this class, about how much of the grade is in this class?
1/4.
About a fourth of the grade, right? Would this be a decent representation of our 7th grade class? Yeah. If you ask this room, are there people in band and choir? We probably have a good diverse mix of, creative starts, and we've got boys and girls. We're a good mix, and we're about a fourth of the grade. So, yeah, you could just ask this class, and that would probably be okay. So then Alicia decides to ask 50 7th graders, right? However she does it, she asks 50 7th graders. Here's their data. Ooh, mean. Mean of 60. Can anyone tell me the synonym for mean? Okay, shout it out, friends. Average. And how do we find the mean? And mean is also just kind of quicker to write. If we don't remember how we calculate it, Thomas, you look bored right now. Can you tell us how we calculate the mean?
By adding up all the numbers of the data and then dividing by how much by the amount of numbers.
Yeah, it is the sum divided by the quantity. And why might you decide to use a sample instead of an entire population? Jagger?
Well, I guess one reason is if you have too many people and you divide by too big of a number, you get a weird answer.
That wouldn't, because as you keep getting more people, you keep getting more data on top, right? So I don't think that, we could ask everybody. You could. Charlie? Yeah. Time. Effort. I don't know. Bullies. I maybe don't want to talk to all the 7th grade. I don't want to put in the time. I don't want to put in the effort. Charlie also said a good sample will be pretty close to the same thing we'd get if we asked everybody. So for your Crab Island, you want to get a decent sample, but don't choose every single crab. Just get a decent sample and then go ahead and keep going. All right, keep rolling. Keep trying to collect your crabs or figure things out on Crab Island. If your sample only has one crab, is that a decent sample?
No.
How many, like, what do you think, like, a minimum?
15.
2, 3, 15 might be a bit much, depending on how much.
15's the
I'd
max.
say at least do 5.
I guess you
5 is
randomly
good if
click.
you do it right.
Yeah, at least do 5. At least,
I
like,
just clicked on the one I just did. I
Okay.
just got 15.
Okay, so it is 32.5.
I just clicked on the, like, Sister Crab.
Is this what we're gonna watch if we get the movie day?
I won't choose. You guys will pick.
Well,
Forrest
it's
Gump.
university.
Forrest Gump.
I know Stella. You're still damn Peterson. Wait, no, not damn Peterson. See? Oh, wait, me.
Liam, you gonna keep going, dude?
Huh?
You gonna keep going? Sorry, I'm sort of waiting. It looks like you're a little behind.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Okay. Wait, should I just put my sample? What am I talking about?
Two gummies. And I'm good.
32.
Reveal. Yes, I was.
So now we can go and move on.
Where's the actual?
So how are we going to calculate? We just said what we need. You wrote it down. How do we calculate it? So we first need the sum. And the sum is when we add the numbers. Add them all up. So we need to add all these up. Right? And then we're going to divide by how many we have. So we have to be real careful when we're adding them, because one mistake can mess up. So hit enter first. We gotta find the sum. Now that we have the answer, now we take that and divide it by how many. Right? The first one was actually click divide right out here. Divide right out there. It only divides that 22 by 1 if you click divide. You gotta hit enter first, then you that makes sense. It's always a calculator issue because your calculator separate. You can't trust your calculator to do it. Right? You gotta slow down doing something. We'll do 127. How many crabs do we have? There we go. So let's do that. 5, and that should work for us. True confession, though, we actually did sing Under the Sea in a choir that I was in. So, no, I do not just love Little Mermaid, although it's a great movie. I did also actually sing it as part of a choir.
Is she your favorite princess?
Okay, who picks a favorite princess?
I do.
And if you're going to pick a favorite princess, who doesn't pick Princess Peach?
What?
Because I grew up playing Mario.
You meant like Disney princess. Respect
What?
Maybe Peach should become a Disney princess.
Yeah.
Maybe we need a crossover between Mario and Disney.
That makes great sense. Mario needs more.
Jesse, you need any help? You need any help? Okay. Just making sure that you pick at least 5 crabs, and then we're going to move on to do the average. But you'll probably want a calculator. So make sure, yeah, so, which we can totally use. Yeah, so there we go.
I'm trying to figure out.
So, round it, right? I think it tells you to round it. When you go back into the Desmos.
Everyone knows that. What's
I don't know why you guys always want everyone to have favorites.
Because there's always
Those are my first ever watch them. I'm actually Wait, who was
Cinderella wasn't it?
Oh, just Sleeping Beauty. I grew up on it. Yeah, I was just real fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I love
All right. Most of us agree here. Few of us are not sure. So, hey, let's look at what our classmates said for why a lot of you felt like our sample was better. I have more. He didn't get very many. I have more tests. I selected more because my sample has more. Which do you think is better? A sample that has 5 or a sample that has 4? Oh, wait. Remy has 5 now? Remy only had 4 earlier. But yeah, so our samples, most of us had more than Remy. And then we keep going, and we see both of us are kind of off. So my sample means lower. His sample means higher. Why might this happen? There we go. Eli, we got a hand we haven't talked with yet today. Eli?
Just not an exact amount of data that both of you guys have.
Yeah, a really good slide to look at is if you bump to slide 8, guys. Mateo collected like 1.
Great. Nice.
Maybe the crab bit him and he decided, I'm done with this.
It was too hot outside.
Anola collected a lot. Did Anola need to collect that many? Probably not, but did Mateo need to collect more? Yeah. So what we're seeing here is your sample needs to be big enough that it gives you a good view of the population, but it doesn't need to be like everybody except for like 5, because then do those 5 just feel left out? Like, why didn't you ask them? So wait, what about Adrian? What about Adrian's sample?
They needed more.
Way more.
Amara, why do you love Adrian?
Oh, I was talking about the person, like the student, but Adrian.
Oh, I thought you meant this person. I would probably do the same thing as Adrian because I'm kind of afraid of crabs.
My thing is that like I feel like Adrian, she should probably like pick like different like expand it all towards more than just one specific area.
Well, which crabs do you think bite harder? Bigger crabs or smaller crabs? So maybe Adrian is afraid of the crabs and is only picking up the little ones. Is that getting a good sample? No. Adrian, if you're a researcher, you gotta be random, right? You can't just pick up the baby crabs. You are welcome to spend the last 6 minutes working on Khan Academy.
Wait, Mr. Hudson, I forgot about the
Oh yeah, friends, we already talked about like on a 4 question assignment, you can miss one, right? But on a 7 question assignment, you were able to miss 2. You can leave it at just a 5 out of 7. However, I will tell you, there tends to be an entire like leveling up difference between just leaving it with only 5 right and pushing to try to get 6 or 7 right. Like I was literally with a student this morning. We got 3 out of 4. We did it again. We got 4 out of 4, and we leveled up from getting 4 out of 4. You can leave it at 3 out of 4 if you want, but if you want to get more progress for your class, your goal would try to get like 6 out of 7, or try to get it as many right as you can. So you've got the last few minutes to work on Khan Academy. Yes. What's being done to X? So how do we If we multiply by 7 on this side, it just will end up with a 7 on top of 7 on bottom. I'm not going to help you unless you write this out. Hey, if you come to ask me for help on Khan and have nothing written down, expect me to make you write things down. A lot of times it clicks once you write it down. I put it back in there, dude, because it's still usable. Like, you don't necessarily have to have cleaned. If we're just grabbing scrap paper for, like, while we're doing con, are you turning that in? Does it have to be clean? You could have used that piece of paper. It had paper to write on. It's not like a half sheet.
I have no idea what this is asking.
Yes.
So, if the population is all of the books in the school, what is a question we could ask for which the population would, like, really what this is saying is how can you ask a question that will make the group you're looking at be the books? So we need a question about, well, no, that would just be a quantity question. We need like a statistical question. So like, how much of the books in the school are history, or how many of the books in the school are romance? Or like, we need a question about the books, not just how many are there, but a question about. Because if we just ask how many students are in the school, there's just a numerical answer. But if we say like about how many kids in the school like Pokemon, or how many kids in the school like we need a question about. Does that make sense? Not just how many, but like about like a character trait, or something like that. How many kids in the school have long hair? How many kids have brown eyes? Or like character trait questions. You're not multiplying by 7 over X. When did we ever put anything like this? Perfect. What is our goal? Get You're not trying to mess with that. You're trying to get rid of the other stuff with this. We need to get rid of 7. Leave the X alone. Just deal with the 7. We need to times 7.
Yeah, this is one thing.
If you're just going to keep guessing and interrupting me, on your own, man. Get help from the Khan Academy step by step. I'm trying to help you, but you just keep stabbing in a dark room. We did this last week a lot.
So it says here that Aiden